The person most dangerous in the world is John Piper. A pessoa mais perigosa do mundo é John Piper. And let's go. Vamos voltar aqui à leitura. Perdoe meu inglês, tenham clemência, paciência, misericórdia. Meu inglês é horrível mesmo. Vamos lá. Chapter 19. And let's go. Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him. And the soldiers planted, não sei, a crown of thorns, and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe, and said, How king of the Jews, and they smote him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again, and said unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye yet may know that I find no fault in him. Then came Jesus forth, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate said unto them, Behold the man. When the chief priests therefore and officers said him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him! Crucify him! Pilate said unto them, Take yet him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him. The Jews answered him, We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid, and yet again into the judgment hall, and said unto Jesus, Thence art thou? But Jesus gave him no answer. Then said Pilatus, enfim, unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee, and have power to release thee? Jesus answered, Thou couldst have not power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore that he that delivered me unto the had the greater sin. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him, but the Jews crying out, saying, If thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's, não sei falar César, enfim, Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh himself a king is speaking against Caesar. Enfim, when Pilate therefore heard that saying, they brought Jesus forth, and sat down in the judgment seat in the place that is called the pavement, but in the Hebrew Gabata? No, I don't know. And it was prepared of the Passover, and about 6th hour. And he said unto the Jews, Behold your king. But they cry out, Away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief, é ladrão, né? Não sei. The chief priest answered, We have no king, but Caesar, não sei. Enfim. Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Jesus and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth unto a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and two other with him on either side one, and Jesus in the midst. And Pilate wrote a title, and put it on the cross, and the written was, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city, and it was written in Hebrew and Greek and Latin. Then said the chief priest of the Jews to Pilate, write not the King of the Jews, but that he said, I am King of the Jews. Pilate answered, what I have written, I have written. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Jesus, took his garments and make four parts, to every soldier a part, and also his coat. Now the coat was without seam, and what? Woven, não sei, from the top throughout. They say therefore among themselves, let us not rend it, but cast lots for it, whose it shall be, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, which said, they parted my raiment among them, and for my vesture they did cast lots. These things therefore the soldiers did. Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleophas, and Mary Magdalena. Magdalena. Enfim, Mary Magdalena. Enfim, que nome. When Jesus therefore said his mother and the disciples stand by, one he loved. He said unto his mother, woman, behold the son. Then said he to the disciple, behold the mother. And from that hour that disciple took her unto his own home. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, said, I am thirsty. Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar, and put it upon hyssop, and put it to his mouth. When Jesus therefore had received vinegar, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. The Jews não gosto dessa palavra fantasma. Prefiro espírito, spirit. And bowed his head, and I gave up the spirit. The Jews, therefore, because it was preparation that the bodies should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for the Sabbath day was a high day. So Pilate that the legs might be broken, and that they might be taken away. Then come the soldiers, and break the legs of the first, and of the other which was crucified with him. But when they come to Jesus, and saw that he was dead already, they break not his legs. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out blood and water. And he that saw into bad records, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he said truly, that yet might believe. For these things were done, that the scriptures should be fulfilled. A bone of him shall not be broken. And again another scripture said, they shall look on him one they pierced. And after this Joseph of Arimathea, não sei falar isso, and being a disciple of Jesus, but secretly for fear of the Jews, so Pilate, não sei falar isso, Pilatus, that he might take away the body of Jesus. And Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Jesus. And there came also Nicodemus, Augusto Nicodemus, which at the first came to Jesus by night, and broke a mixture of meats and alons, about 100 pounds weight. Then took they the body of Jesus, and rolled it in linen clothes, with the spice and the manner of the Jews is to bury. Now, in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre, wherein was never man yet laid. No, see. Where laid then Jesus, therefore, because of the Jews' preparation day, for the sepulchre was night and hand. Enfim, Deus quiser, amanhã, chapter 20 of the Gospel of John Piper. Enfim, Deus abençoe a todos. Fé e tulipas, tá caindo a tempestade aqui. É o dilúvio. Tenha todos uma ótima noite. Deus é bom. Tenha todos uma ótima noite. Vai alagar tudo aqui, a tempestade. Enfim, Deus é bom.